What exactly is Reg A Plus? And walk me through what the process looks like to do a Reg A Plus.
Yeah, it's a great question, Sean. So, if you were talking about IPOs, most people watching this would understand what you're talking about. Reg A Plus is just a simplified version of the IPO. Some people confuse Reg A Plus with Reg CF crowdfunding because Reg A used to be the crowdfunding regulation. When they replaced Reg A in the Jobs Act with Reg CF, now Reg A became something different. So it's not really a crowdfunding tool. It can be used if you need to raise a little bit more than 5 million, which is the cap on Reg CF. And so let's say you're raising 6 or 7 million, you might use Reg A as a crowdfunding substitute. But in general, Reg A is more useful. You can raise as much as 75 million on a Reg A issue. So it's much more akin to an IPO, but not nearly as complex or expensive as an IPO. And at the end of the day, you get a lot of the benefits of an IPO. You end up with publicly tradable shares. They won't immediately be on an exchange. Down the road, they could immediately be on it. But right now, they're shares that are custodiable in Schwab, Fidelity accounts, just like other publicly traded shares, and you can trade them even if they're not on an exchange. You can trade them over the counter from custody account to another custody account. It's much more liquid than a partnership interest. It's less liquid than a publicly traded share for now. The idea is eventually to have an exchange where you can trade Reg A Plus shares on either an alternative trading platform or some other exchange. That's where we're going at CR3 Markets. But we believe that the primary issuance market must be built first with the first set of deals. So 10 deals, 20 deals, 50 deals. And then when you get a critical mass of primary issuance out there, there'll be demand for an exchange to trade these Reg A Plus shares. And that'll become where commercial real estate is traded in value.
Reg CF has been such a buzzword over the past couple of years. I feel like a lot of people know about crowdfunding. It's interesting to see that the limit on Reg CF is 5 million. You can raise up to 75 with Reg A Plus. Why would someone come to CR3 Markets and do a Reg A Plus issuance when, maybe they could do this on their own?
Yeah, so it's a great question, Sean. And if you've ever done an IPO or been involved in an IPO, you know the complications of an IPO. Well, Reg A has a few of those complications, and part of that is finding the right third-party agents that help you through the process to get to market. You have to find a couple different types of attorneys, a couple different types of accountants to actually put together your offering circular so that you can submit it to the SEC, and then the SEC has an approval process, and then once you're approved, then you can go to market with your shares. So all of that traditionally has taken 6 to 9 months or more. It's actually amazing to me that $5 billion has been issued doing it that way. We think that the amount that could have been issued since 2015 could have been 10 or 20 times if there were a platform that made it easy and streamlined the process and compress the time. And so we think with CR3 Markets, what we're doing is we're going to create a much more streamlined process. As an issuer, you don't have to go out and find any of these third-party agents. We have them all plugged into our platform. And then at the end of the day, it takes 2 to 4 months instead of 6 to 9 months. And so it makes it much more palatable for commercial real estate folks to consider an issuance. And that's the process.